O Z Y W O M B Podcast. I'm Shan.
I'm Aria.
Say Ari.
Abby.
Welcome to Cozy Womb Podcast. Let's go. Hey, this is Shan, mom of the girls. Thank you for checking in. If this is your first time at Cozy Womb Podcast, welcome. It's a very random but frequently posted show. Enjoy what you can when you can. It's for new parents. Y'all are very welcome. It's for second, third, or more time around parents too. And I did not forget those of you who aren't quite there yet, haven't had your first kid, but you're thinking about it and you're just curious on what it takes to go ahead and survive the kids that you may make. Cool. Since we're all here, let's get into today's episode. Hey mom and dad, this is a episode that should only be for your ears. If your kids are around, go ahead and drop them off. Go ahead and put in your headphones. But enjoy the episode. When I say parenthood is a privilege, I'm speaking towards the fact that everyone in the world does not get to be a parent. Some people do life the right way, quote unquote, and that means for them going to school, graduating, having that career, meeting someone, dating, having the marriage, but cannot have the baby. So the equation on if you do life the right way, you'll have X, Y, and Z. Sometimes that's not true for everyone. You know, kids are gifts, blessings, and they happen sometimes for some people. Not everyone wants kids, so don't assume that, just because someone meets someone, they're in a good career, they can afford it, they're happy in their relationship, that now you're gonna have babies. Don't ever walk up to anyone, throw that on them, give them that pressure, or assume. Allow those couples to, bring that to the table. Talk about that. If they're not talking about it and that's not something that they've mentioned, it is not up to society to push that on couples just because they are in a marriage and they're happy and they have all of this the right way, quote unquote, from the outside looking in, that you would assume they want to be parents. Some people don't want to be parents. And then we have on the other spectrum, a lot of people have kids and shouldn't be parents. We see it on the news every day. It's in the paper, it's in the magazines, it's on the internet. So many things are happening to kids being locked in cars, kids being burnt, kids being ran over, all types of things that parents do to kids without no hesitation, without any second guessing. And yes, sometimes it comes with mental issues or some type of trauma, but it doesn't make it right. So I just want to explore why I say parenthood is a privilege. As a parent of two, I understand that my kids didn't ask to be here. Like, I did an action, I created a child, so I feel like it is my duty to go ahead and take care of that child and make sure that my children become successful adults. To have a child, that's the most unselfish thing you can ever do in life, is to have a child. To have a child that most people cannot have, that's something to be grateful about. Kids are your personal contributions to the world. And I say that in a way of not saying, the world say you have to have a kid to share it. More so that if I die today, my kids will be extensions of who I was. in that sense. A second chance for you to be better in the next generation. So whatever your parents didn't pour into you as a child, you can now pour into your kids. Whatever you felt like you really needed as a kid, you can now provide for your kid. So that's why I say parenting and parenthood is a privilege. Kids do not beg you to be here. Your actions created their life. That's why I'm not sure how a lot of parents, a lot of mothers, a lot of fathers are out here living their lives like they don't have children, like they shouldn't provide, like they shouldn't be there emotionally, financially, mentally, physically, to provide and take care of their children. They're just out here living for themselves. It's very selfish, and that will backfire on them once they get into an older age and they realize that they weren't there. And it's a sad thing to see, and you see it every day. You hear it on the news, and you see it in person. You see it in your family. You see it with friends. It's just people put their ego and their pride in front of being their best parent they can be. It's your purpose to be a mother, in my perspective, unless you choose adoption. You are an individual first, but when you have a child, it's your responsibility to make sure that child has all the necessities that they need in order to be a happy kid, to be a happy teenager, to be healthy, to think for themselves, to be able to learn, to be able to adapt. Like, that's on you. Men, you have the responsibility of taking care of your sons and your daughters and guiding them and making sure they understand that they can always come to you and that you love them and that you care and that you're there. And you have to be consistent with it. Parenthood is emotionally providing, physically being there, mentally being open, financially being prepared, and creatively being aware that your child is not you. It's an extension of you. So all you can do is water the things that they love and make sure if there's something that they're focused on that they want to be, you've done everything to provide them a space to create who they want to be, create where they want to go, develop all the intelligence and knowledge that they need in order to be their best selves. If you are not prepared to put in the effort to be the best parent, then you need to be doing everything you can to prevent yourself from having a child. Men, if you do not want to have children, go get a vasectomy. If you do not want to have children, always wear condoms. If you do not know if a woman has condoms and you go into her house and you think you're going to do the do, then you need to bring condoms with you. You should always be prepared. Women, if you do not want to have kids, go ahead and get your tubes tied. Go ahead and take birth control. Do whatever you have to do to not ever create a possibility of you becoming a parent. Children deserve a fair, stable, healthy, consistent opportunity to grow into successful adults. And I'm tired of seeing kids be brought into this world year after year after year after year when a mother is not in a predicament to take care of the kids she already has here, when a father is not stable in his life to take care of the kids he already has here on earth. Why do you have 13 kids, and of that 13, 12 of them, those mothers have you on child support? You do not need to be producing any more children, okay? Why are you struggling in a toxic relationship with a male, and you're not growing and you're not making any strides into marriage, or you're not making any strides into having a positive relationship, and you're on the third kid with this male that has not been watering you in the most healthy way? Some people have to accept the fact that a lot of the situations that they are in where children are produced, they could have made better choices. And I'm not talking about, oh, you should have known how this person was before you had a kid with them. I'm not talking about that, because that's the most ignorant, stupidest thing that a lot of people say and a lot of people assume. You cannot always predict how a person would be after you have a child with them. People change. People choose to not stand up in their shit, quote unquote. People choose to be there. People choose to be better, okay? So that's a separate whole ignorant comment. No one should feel guilty for not adopting, but wanting to have their own biological children. No one should feel guilty for not having kids or wanting kids. That's a personal, individual choice. Just because you have a vagina, just because you have a penis, doesn't mean that you should go out here and create children. I don't care what religion background you are. I don't care what culture you come from. That is your personal choice. To be a mother is instantly feeling loved for some people. It can take a gradual time or years for a mother to feel like a mother. Sometimes that doesn't come naturally for some. Fathers bonds most of the time at the time of birth of a child or later on in life. Sometimes that bond is never developed because maybe that father wasn't around for whatever reason. You just never know. And don't assume that just because your father isn't around, you'll never be a complete 100% good person. Or don't assume just because your mother had you and gave you away that you are incapable of being loved or incapable of loving other people because of how your life was started. Everyone has a choice to make on what parent they become and how they want to parent and when they want to parent. But I feel like once you create a child and you want to keep that child, it is your duty to go ahead and make that child be in the best situations as far as growing up into an adult. Parenthood is not something everybody gets to experience. So those that can experience parenthood, do your best, please.